Hey everyone, this is Michael Kostroff. About a week ago, I gave you all a tour of my apartment just to sort of show you how a middle-class actor lives. And it seems like some of you found that helpful and informative. So I'm back to speak to those of you who are not in show business and sort of illuminate what this strike is and isn't about and explain it a little better for you. First of all, we are not striking on behalf of big famous stars who are making millions of dollars. They're fine. They have agents who negotiate their salaries. The money part of this negotiation will not have any effect on them. They're all set. We're also not negotiating on behalf of deluded, folks who have decided to be actors and are going to sit around waiting for acting work and, expect a paycheck. This really is, this is for union members, and getting into the union is very hard. It is in itself a sign of accomplishment. So we're talking about actors who have proven themselves enough to have been admitted to the Actors Union. And the Actors Union, like many unions, if you're in a union, you know this, they set minimum rates so that you can't be paid less than that. And our minimum rate hasn't been renegotiated in a while, and if you account for inflation, we're working for less than we worked for in 2020. So we think it's reasonable to ask that those salaries be adjusted up to account for inflation. Now, one of the things that's happened is with the popularity of streaming services like Hulu and Netflix and HBO and Apple and so forth, our residuals have decreased. Now, residuals are little paychecks we get every time a film is run. Every time we used to. Every time a TV episode is rerun, we get a little bit. Now, sometimes those are very handsome checks. Mostly, they're about $37, and it's great. It helps keep the bills paid, but the streaming services don't have an accounting. They don't share how many people are viewing. And so those residuals have really, the residuals in general have just decreased. So we're actually, again, making less than we did before. So we're asking for a more fair accounting of that. I've seen a lot of folks say, well, nobody makes you be an actor. And, you're not wrong about that. We all go into it, unless we're crazy, we go into it knowing that it's an insecure profession, one in which very few people have success. We know that. Most of us make the sacrifice by having other jobs. People wait tables while they're pursuing acting. They temp. They do all kinds of things to support this career, knowing that it's unlikely that they will make a living. That's how much we love it. Even I do other things. I teach, I coach, I write books, I write articles. I do all kinds of other things. I direct. Luckily, I've been able to keep those jobs within the profession, but I do other jobs. So we're not being lazy and just expecting the profession to absolutely support us. It's more about fairness, about equity. There has always been a gap between what the CEO of the company makes and what the frontline workers make. And that's okay. There's always been a difference, as it should be. That difference has increased like mad to the point where I've learned that the average screenwriter, for example, the average makes $69,510 a year. Disney's CEO makes $74,175 a day. That's a huge discrepancy. Obviously, the funds are there. They could pay their writers a fair wage and for what they do. And by the way, a lot of people think that writing for television and acting for television is super easy and anyone could do it. It's not that easy. It's hard. It's not hard like working in a coal mine, and it's not hard like being a surgeon, and it certainly has, when we work, certain luxuries that you don't have in other professions. but we also have expenses, like we buy our own equipment and pay for our own training and all of that. And sometimes we even fly ourselves to other cities so we can be hired there. So there are all kinds of things. But the work itself is it's more taxing than you might think. Sometimes it's very long hours and difficult physical conditions and that kind of thing. So the other thing I want you to know is that for us to qualify for SAG insurance, we have to make $26,000 a year in working as actors. Most actors, 87% of union actors each year don't qualify for insurance. That just gives you an idea about the averages. So that's just a little insight. Feel free to shoot questions my way. The next thing I want to talk to you about is how you can help us and support us. One is by, if you're down for the cause, and by the way, this is more universal than you might think. I haven't even talked about the whole AI thing. A lot of people's jobs are going away because of computers. I go into a Walmart now, and there's one cashier and all kinds of self-checkouts, self-checkout kiosks, and more and more we're going to electronics, and people's jobs are being replaced. And I think it's a pretty bad trend. I always go to the human being when I go to Walmart or whatever. I don't want to do a self-checkout because I want to support the idea that we're hiring people. As you may know, the AI threat is that they want to replace actors by taking our images and our voices and creating fake actors that they don't have to pay. So a lot of stuff that's universal, and the wage discrepancy and unfairness is stuff that a lot of people can relate to. Anyway, this is how you can help us. Below, I'm going to post a link to a video that explains about the writer's strike. On that same page, you have an opportunity to write to all the CEOs of the streaming services. These are the people who are refusing to budge and negotiate in good faith with us, and you can let them know your feelings about it. That's very, very helpful. There are a couple of funds, and if you have the means, this is a great way of showing support. The Entertainment Community Fund, an amazing organization that I contribute to, that bails out people in the arts who are like in danger of not paying their rent or not being able to afford a doctor or groceries, and you can give to them. There's also something I discovered called the Inevitable Foundation. I love the name. That's an emergency relief fund for screenwriters, for writers. There's also the SAG Foundation, which I will link you up to. I'm also going to post the link to the video of me showing people around my apartment in case you missed it, because that was kind of fun to do. Thanks for listening to all this. This was 7 minutes of me babbling, but I think it's really important that you folks who are consumers of entertainment know why we're doing this, and that we're not just being, whiny, privileged, entitled, stuck-up millionaires who sit by the pool deciding which script to choose. It's not like that at all. It's not like that. And, and listen, you need people like me to play the sleazy lawyers, and you need people like me to play the doctors and the nurses and the victim of the week and the patient of the week. And, it's not just about rich stars. So hope that's helpful. If not, sorry, I tried. And shoot me some questions if you'd like. You could also go to the SAG-AFTRA site that can explain about the strike, and, or just turn on the news. All right, friends, I hope you're doing well out there. We are sweating and picketing. That's what we're doing. All right, more later. Bye.